All right, what's up, Crypt Nation? Bryce here, coming at you with a quick market update. And the word of the month has clearly been volatile. I feel like I've led every single market update with that word, and today was no different, right? BTC broke down below the volume point of control at 36,000 bucks. That was pretty noteworthy, and so we're going to see how it trades overnight. If it holds below $36,000, I've got $30,000 in my sights. Do I think that's really going to happen? I think that $36,000 price point for BTC will act as a long-term magnet and long-term support. So I'm actually adding on these dips. I'm adding to my BTC stack, and I'm adding to my Ethereum stack at around $2,200. I'm trying to get a good average in. I think that the market's really ripe for a bounce. When we've had this much really depression in the market, and all the fear indicators are at all-time highs. I was looking at another indicator earlier today, and it was the deviation of price from the 50-day moving average, and it is very, very, very oversold. And so there's lots of different kind of metrics that I'm looking at where I'm like, if we're going to get a strong bounce, we're going to be getting that bounce here pretty soon, within the next couple days. So that being said, on this bounce, as I've been talking about, to lifers and to the group, if you're not, part of the subscription group, you could sign up for $1. You could see our model portfolio and get our newsletters, exactly how we're trading the markets day in and day out, what coins we think are fundamentally strong. But, I've been telling these folks that, we're getting protective with our stack, so that means that on these really, really sharp bounces that we are expecting, we're going to be taking some profit. So, the market is changing. There's a new dynamic. It's no longer an easy money market. I think everybody's really learned a good lesson, and that's how markets work, right? They go up and they go down. They're choppy, and you're never gonna 100% ever really know the direction of of the future, right? Like there's no crystal ball, so that's why you have to manage your risk. And so when I say, I'm adding on the weakness today, right? There was a little bit of weakness in the market today again, as Ethereum fell below 2,200 bucks. But what I'm thinking is that the market's at a point where you buy the weakness and you sell the strength. It's kind of seeming like that environment, right? So you buy the dip and you sell the rip. And, so kind of beyond that, there was an article that I was reading today, and it was referencing the global head of macro research at Fidelity. Household name, everybody likes Fidelity. And this guy was talking about how he thinks this bounce is actually the dead bottom. He goes, this I think is a double bottom, and he called it a failed fifth wave, maybe in reference to Elliott wave theory, but he called it a failed fifth wave on this drop lower. And so for me, I'm like, oh, wow, well, that's good. Guys from Fidelity are spreading that narrative that this is the bottom. And one of the trends that he looked at was an indicator from Bitcoin sensitive stocks. And so he pulled up this chart of stocks with Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And those stocks have actually started to rally really hard. So he's saying that those equities that are starting to rally, there could be, rallying for other reasons than, just having Bitcoin. They're just rallying because, that market had corrected. The Fed's not going to be tapering. So, boom, markets start to bounce back up. But the ones that are rallying hard have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So what he's kind of saying, or what he's alluding to, is that he thinks, again, Bitcoin's bottoming out here. Jurrien Timmer is the name of that gentleman from Fidelity. And you guys got to, follow him on Twitter. He's always posting good stuff. The other thing I wanted to note was that the SEC, they had a report that came out yesterday, and it was kind of their regulatory guidelines and kind of their roadmap for the rest of the year. And there was no mention of cryptocurrencies, which was good because, again, anytime that there's a negative reflection on cryptocurrencies from a governmental body, the market freaks out and tends to sell off. And so what we saw today was, a bullish sort of, regulatory announcement. So those are kind of the things that I've been thinking about, the themes that I'm looking at in the market. I'm still a buyer. I'm cautiously optimistic. One of my favorite hedge fund managers is a guy named Su Zhu. He runs a fund called Three Arrows Capital, and he runs it with a guy named Kyle Davies. And so I look at these guys, and they're part of, I don't want to say I idolize them, but I look up to them, right? They're really good hedge fund managers, and they're smart in crypto. And Suzu actually just came out today, and he goes, the bull market is definitely not over. And so I look to that, and it bolsters my confidence. So just passing along that message to you as well. I think that this is a momentary correction, right? I'm buying, and I think that at the end of the day, the opportunities are robust.